We go to race number 11, the Longines Singapore Gold Cup. Group 1, $1.35 million in prize money. And there's the lineup for you. Fighter Jet will have the blinkers coming off. Zach Influence will have special plates. Clint a shadow roll, and the blinkers are off. Trialled in a shadow roll on Wednesday and seemed to go pretty well. And Lightning Thief, who's the first emergency, will have the blinkers off. So a little bit of track work from a few of the horses that probably aren't super prominent in the market, but Cash Luck's been going quite well. Yeah,
pick out some of the forgotten horses in this race, and Cash Luck might be one of those. But he did work well during the week under Danny Beasley, and Danny Beasley's going to take the ride, getting down nice and light to around the 51 kilo mark to ride Cash Luck, and Danny was very happy with his work, so too his trainer Michael Friedman. And Laurie Laxon had a bit of a spring in his step after martial art gallop during the week, and which you know, is pretty good for Laurie. He's pretty happy. So too was Stephen Bassett, the way he worked. Worked a bit better than Devonshire, so he's probably you know, on form. He's probably got a better chance than Devonshire, but both horses are up for running a nice race.
Yeah, it's a very interesting race, very interesting indeed. So at the post position draw, Matt took the camera down and caught up with some of the leading connections for the big race.
Clint's drawn wide, but of your runners, he looks the on-pace runner?
Yeah, look, possibly the barrier sort of changes it, and to be fair, the track, you know, if it's wet, it's a disaster for him. He's hopeless. He's actually going really well. His trial yesterday was very good, but we can't get a firm surface.
Yes, obviously Lazar is a bit of a forward runner. I wouldn't like him too handy in the beginning, but obviously Simon might have to do a bit of work because a lot of them will be coming over. And obviously it's in his hands. When you're drawn one, he can dictate and he can see how fast he wants to go or where he wants to sit. So it is a big help.
You know, I was thrilled obviously with his run in the Guineas earlier this year, and I was a little bit perplexed as to why his form had dropped off a bit after that. But I was really encouraged with how he ran with the 58 over the 1800 the other day, and convinced me that it was worth having a shot at the Cup on Sunday.
Tenzing will switch off. He'll be midfield. His work's good, and he loves the trip, and he'll handle the wet if it's wet. So, no, I think he'll be thereabouts. Yeah.
His work was good during the week, and he ran third in the race last year. Probably should have won it, and just had a couple of setbacks sort of earlier in the year. That's why he's late arriving on the scene, but he'll be there.
He likes to come from the middle of the field. He's one of those horses, and he likes to go on the outside. He hates the fence, so he's never won on the fence. He always likes to be away from horses, so this draw is perfect for him.
Well, obviously it's not what we wanted, but someone's got to run from there. And in Jose, we've got a very good jockey. He knows the horse well. And by the time we get to the bend, hopefully we're placed where he wants to be.
Yeah, look, he's really well. You know, Flax was too good for us the other day, and we'll just see how we go this weekend.
Have you been surprised how far he's gone this season?
Absolutely. He's just kept improving. He's, yeah, actually, he's quite remarkable how far he's come.
Work's been brilliant. Really happy with her. She was a bit short last week, and they put her new shoes on and tightened her toes up, and she's perfect this week. She worked great. Very happy with her. And if she stays, I think she'll win. Yeah, he had a bit of leg problem after his last run. It was actually in the Penang Gold Cup, but he's come back and he's a bit lightly raced, but he's not a big, heavy horse, and I'm quite happy with his preparation. He worked nicely this week, and he can run the distance. He ran 5th last year. So, as I say, just hope the heavens open up a bit for me, and he'll be in the race.
He could probably get up in about 5th or 6th or something like that. Obviously going to be wide around the first turn, but then it's a long run down the back straight, and they can sort themselves out after that.
Well, I've got to get cover with Zach Influence and switch him off. That's very important. The other day he pulled quite significantly for the first sort of half of the race.
Cliff Brown with 4 runners in the Gold Cup, and also the first emergency. So it is a very interesting race, and some of the reaction there from the barrier draw on Thursday morning. Flax came up with the outermost gate, so it's going to be very difficult for Flax, but he's the Raffles Cup winner. He beat a lot of these horses home. My little concern was 1800 metres turf. He was able to cruise straight across, find the outside lead position. Might be a lot tougher in the short run of the first corner on the 2002.
Yeah, we'll talk about the pace a little bit more, but he went across. He looked the winner a long way from home. Now, I'll be very surprised if he gets himself in a position as easily without working significantly. So a lot is going to come down to that first turn. Can Jose get a spot? One off the fence, I'm sure they'll take. it's quite possible, though, he could be 3 deep. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there with Flax, but a huge negative at the barrier draw. He looked one of 2 really significant hopes going towards the barrier draw. Now, big question marks from gate number 16.
Now we're going to go back to the Cranji Mile at the start of the Triple Crown, and Better Life was just breathtaking, this, I thought. The ease that went past these horses, like Super Easy, Flax, Atto, you know, they're our best horses in Singapore, and Better Life just cruised by them.
Yeah, she's a talented mare, isn't she? And she's got that turn of foot that wins big races like this. Super Easy's a horse that we've always said has got a great turn of foot, but over the mile he just couldn't have that ping, and she's gone up and got her head just about in front and gone on to win it. She's beaten Flax fair and square. So, you know, I thought she's got the best form going into it. Question mark whether she'll stay the distance, but a jockey, Alan Munro, sounds very confident, and I think he's right.
Maurice Trillo and also Cash Lark had a bit of a dogfight last time out. They were nose to nose all the way up the stretch. Lightning Thief led them up in this. Tenzing, I'm not sure where he's at this stage, but you know, a nice form race, this one.
Well, I think Cliff Brown tried to freshen him up somewhat and have him fresh for this, and it all blew up. He blew up, actually. Tenzing had nothing left, but he's put the miles in his legs now, and I think Cliff believes that he's ready to go. Maurice Trillo, pretty honest horse. I'm not sure he's capable of winning a Gold Cup, so he can prove me wrong. He's a terrific old horse. And the other horse, Cash Luck, well, I marked him, I think many marked him a long time ago as a perfect Gold Cup horse. He ran so well in the Guineas, as we know. He was highly thought of by Michael Freedman. He took him over to Dubai. He's had a few ups and downs along the way, but if he finds his form on the day, he's well up to running a huge race in the Gold Cup.
Now, Devonshire, I've just got a query about the class of this horse to win a Gold Cup. You know, King Falcon hasn't won for a long time. It got very close to it. Mitre Peak. Martial Art hasn't been racing well this year. Any hope in this, Frost?
Well, one thing I want to say about Devonshire, and one advantage he's got over 3/4 of the field, there's a lot of horses that have had problems like injuries, this or that, haven't had a great campaign. At least he's had a solid preparation. He's sound. He's probably one of the more sounder horses in the race with deep pockets. They've had uninterrupted preps. There is a big question mark on Devonshire at the ability-wise in this race, but at least everything's gone right for him.
Unfortunately, he's drawn wide. He's drawn gate number 17. I think he was the horse that was an emergency for the Derby and drew 1 or 2, didn't he? Like, he drew beautifully when he didn't get into the Derby, but now he's in this race and he's not in the best of positions.
We never know how the track's going to play. If the rain comes down, it might just sort of open it up, and it might not necessarily be a disadvantage for him.
You do find, with only 200 metres of the first bend, and we've seen it time and time, Better Than Ever's the best example, that you've got to get a spot early, don't you? You've got to have a bit of luck in the first, well, at the barrier draw, and then the first couple of 100 metres of the race. I thought Better Life, he might just be able to, you know, slaughter a crossover on the inside or near enough to Alan Munro, and got a very good turn of foot.
A couple of horses we really haven't spoken about too much. Deep Pockets, I think I was talking about Flax a lot. 2 times placed in Group 1s, the Derby and the Raffles Cup. With the nice little weight swing, he's got to be a huge chance. And the other one is Lazar, who's drawn so well from the gates and looks to have come right at the right time. Yeah,
just having a look at the last time they raced, Deep Pockets comfortably held Lazar, but now with the barrier, I think you've got to elevate Lazar. And as you said, 6 kilos difference between Deep Pockets and Flax, that brings them closer together. Yep. And Deep Pockets is another horse who's had an uninterrupted prep for the last couple of months.
Lazar's, the problem's always been, Pat Shaw, about the miles in its legs, how fit it is, but went back to the trials again last week and really tested at the barrier trials just to get that little bit more into it.
Was punched out, and that was one of the better trials leading into the Gold Cup. Probably the best trial from a Gold Cup perspective was from Clint, but, you know, he can't seem to get the right track, and whether he's in the best form, we don't really know. But he seemed to go well with it. Was it a nose roll or what?
Yeah, he had a shadow roll on.
Shadow roll on, and Santana.
Taking the blinkers, yeah, and Santana probably.
If it was rock hard, then he comes into it.
That's it. If they ran the Gold Cup on the poly track, a nice even surface, you'd probably give him a decent chance. But tough here with the conditions we're expecting there on Sunday. I go Better Life, Deep Pockets, Lazar and Flax, my top 4.
Very similar. Better Life, Deep Pockets, Flax and Lazar.
Better Life, Flax, Lazar, and I threw in Martial Art with Laurie Laxon oozing confidence at the barrier draw on Thursday morning.